like to share something about the significance of an understanding heart from a mystical point of view. You see, sometime last week, I was giving a mystic healing service to someone who was recently abandoned by his father. At one point, in our deep silence, I felt very connected, deeply connected to his situation. And that has brought up my previous abandonment issues. I arrived at a point where I'm almost reliving the past during that time. At first I got scared, experiencing them all again. But somehow I saw it as another opportunity, a blessing of opportunity, to examine my own abandonment issues deeply. So yeah, in a way, while I was providing a healing service to someone, I was also healing myself. So yeah, during that healing session, I realized that those many years of sad times for me, I was having a hard time dealing with it, with those abandonment issues and sadness and all. I was really having a hard time because I can't understand things, basically. I didn't even try to be understanding at all. Instead, what I did was, I allowed myself to be stuck on the problem of being abandoned, about how it felt bad for me, how I hated those people or specific people in my life for leaving me. It became like a pattern, day in and day out, every night. That's how I felt. To the point that I am already unconsciously nurturing these bad feelings for so long in my life. And yes, it became a pattern of thinking, a sad part of my personality. So yes, while reliving that scenario and experiencing my old pains during that healing session, I had this inspiration from the higher planes, probably from my spirit guides. I was inspired to open up my heart, my understanding heart, while I'm reliving these painful experiences again. And after I did that, after I opened my heart, I felt my emotional wounds comforted immediately. Like I don't have any problems at all. Like I was healed or comforted immediately. Then it came to me. I was comforted because being understanding opened up my heart a little more. Being understanding brought out the virtue of compassion. I saw clairvoyantly how it happens that whenever we open up our hearts, naturally the virtue of compassion will radiate out of our hearts. And this compassion, it is very healing and comforting to our emotional wounds. It is very healing and comforting to the situation that seems impossible to understand. Compassion is also expansive and can bridge time and space, so it can reach out to anyone and heal as well anyone. The person involved in your sad situation will also be healed by compassion, by your compassion, no matter where this person is. Being understanding also opens up the heart and it activates the heart chakra. According to universal Hermetic principles, the heart or chest region is the seat of the universal air element principle. This principle has a neutralizing and balancing effect because the air element is a combination of the principle of fire and water, the positive and negative principles of life, respectively. When I say positive and negative, I mean the universal positive and universal negative, universal light and universal dark principles. It's not necessarily the religious concept of good and bad. The air element is also expansive and it feels light. It has those two qualities, expansion and the feeling of lightness. And this is why when we try to be understanding, we feel a little lighter, don't we? We also notice that the more we become more understanding, things get smoother and easier to handle and to manage. When we become more understanding, we see more into the situation or into the problem. We don't only see, but our perspective, our mental capacity also expands. And we understand better the situation in that problematic situation or even a positive situation. And most of all, when we become more understanding, we see more deeply into our own actions, our own pains, hurts, and feelings, our own entire self. And that's because of the air element and the power of understanding. When we implement it in our own spirit, in our own life, we activate in a deeper level the principle of air in our entire being, thereby affecting our life, our current situation. So yes, I guess whenever we feel stuck, whenever we feel we are stuck in a painful situation, it is because we just stay in experiencing that pain and repeating in our mind the never-ending river of questions as to why something this bad is happening to us. Questioning is a good thing, don't get me wrong. Feeling the pain is also good. Somehow, it is therapeutic to really experience the pain. But it shouldn't end there. We should not forget our divine power to open the door of our heart using the key of understanding to open our heart chakra. Be understanding even if there seems to be no answer in front of us. It doesn't matter. For what matters is that we take the initiative to be understanding and simply open our heart even more as we face a difficult situation. We should try to change our common reaction, wherein if something bad happens, we tend to close our hearts. It's time to change that in ourselves. Whenever we do something like this, whenever we exercise our divine power to open our hearts, to be more understanding, the universe sees this great act of our spirit, no matter how small we think it might be. Whenever we do something like this, with a sincere intention to understand our karmic energy, or the karmic energy implementing or acting upon us, actually shifts in our favor, because finally we're acting out of love and understanding. And surely with this great act of understanding, of being open-hearted, of being open, surely the universe will send answers and assistance to us, to you, so you can finally use them and take action towards your healing and move further in your spiritual development. I guess the key takeaway from all this quick, short talk is we should open our hearts, be understanding, allow the compassion to radiate from our heart, and just be certain that answers and assistance will surely come, because the student is finally ready to listen with an open and understanding heart.